All right, good morning, everyone. I want to welcome everyone to our K-6 closing. I know I've say this every year, but it seemed like only 2 or 3 months ago we did this. I think every year is getting faster and faster. It seemed like only a year ago Mrs. Green was very nervous about full-day kindergarten. Probably some of the parents too. But we've gotten through that year, and I think the kindergartens are no different now than grade 1s or grade 6 in regards of their time being in school per day, or their hours per day. And certainly to our grade 6s is your last one, so I know you're excited for grade 7 next year. For most of you are obviously familiar with how this will run, so we're going to have the classes come up, and we'll do the individual classes, so kindergartens, and we'll do grade 1s and so on. Teachers have a few words to say, and they'll have some certificates and some awards to present. So without further ado, we'll start with our kindergarten class. So Mrs. Green and our kindergarten class, and our kindergartens have had a graduation already. So a lot of things we presented to them, but there's a few things right now that Mrs. Green wanted to, I guess, give an addition to the graduation.
I just want to let you know that our students, of course, had a kindergarten graduation at the end of May. At that time, they received their certificate of completion for kindergarten, as well as some individual awards. We had a wonderful graduation, and we've had some wonderful growth. Of course, Mr. Penny just mentioned that we were all I was very nervous. So the full day kindergarten this time last year, I was not as calm. So, but these guys have done wonderful. I think they're, just like Mr. Penny said, they're no different than grade 1s, and they're fitting in really well. I probably needed more naps at the end of the day than what they did, but they've done great. So I'm just going to start with Lexis Blagden. So at our kindergarten graduation, she had received her certificate of completion for grade kindergarten, a math award for her work in the patterns unit. She did really well. Today she's receiving her appreciation certificate or award for kindergarten, a recycling certificate, a jump rope for heart certificate, and a kids Zumba certificate. Next I'll start with Jamie Calamau. Right there. At our kindergarten graduation, she had received a certificate for the completion of grade kindergarten and a printing award. This girl can really print. She uses the proper lowercase and uppercase letters when she's copying print. She's very good. And today she's receiving an appreciation award for kindergarten, a recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate, a jump rope for heart certificate, a kids Zumba certificate, and she's also received the physical education award for grade kindergarten. So Jamie Dowling. Okay, next on the list is Carly Hand, and at our kindergarten graduation, she had received her certificate for completion of grade kindergarten, and she also received the Language Arts Award for her work in language arts this year for reading and writing as well. So she's done really well on that. And today she's receiving her Appreciation Award for kindergarten, a recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate, a jump rope for heart certificate, a kids Zumba certificate, and she also gets the music award for grade kindergarten. So Carly Hansen. Okay, next on the list is Haley Ron Spencer. So at our kindergarten graduation, she had received her certificate for completion of grade kindergarten. She also received a friendship award. Haley is always a friend to everyone. I have never seen her bully anyone yet, so I'm sure that will continue. She's very nice to everyone. And today she's going to receive an appreciation award for grade kindergarten, a recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate, and a jump rope for heart certificate. So next is Miley Ricketts. At our kindergarten graduation, Miley received a certificate for completion of grade kindergarten, and she also received a manners award. She is very polite. She always says please and thank you. And out of consideration for manners, she was the one who had the most tokens for particularly manners, giving manners in our class. So today she is receiving an appreciation award for kindergarten, a recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate, a jump rope for heart certificate, and a kids Zumba certificate. Someone. And Jamie Rose. So Jamie, last but not least, at our kindergarten graduation, Jamie received his certificate for completion of grade kindergarten. He also received a math award for the geometry unit. He knew the names of all the geometric solids that we had done, and he knew them pretty quickly. So he did really well in that, had a math award for that. Today he's receiving an appreciation award for kindergarten, a recycling certificate, and a jump rope for heart certificate. I just want to say thank you to the students for a wonderful year, and of course this is our first full day class graduating from Burgeo Academy for our full day kindergarten. So I want to say thank you to the students, and they've done wonderful. So graduating class 2017. All right. I'm going to call my grade 1 up, please. I need some personal space. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that all of those students in grade kindergarten had also received a dinner time sports certificate, a participation nation certificate, and 2 candidate games activity challenge certificates. So those are already in their bags. So sorry about that. And that's the same with grade 1. They're all receiving the dinner time sports certificate because they all attend the revolutionary sports. The Participation Nation certificate, and 2 Canada Games Activity Challenge certificates, which one I believe is from Justin Trudeau, so that's pretty good. It's pretty awesome, and one from the Spectra. So yeah, we've also had a wonderful year. Of course, this is their first year doing full day as well, and I think they've adjusted just as well as what the kindergartners have. I've had this class for 2 years now, so I'm actually going to be saying goodbye to them today, which is quite sad. Yeah, we've had a great year, and we've definitely grown. They're soon going to grow taller than me, so I got to keep talking. So we're going to start with Sophie Green. Today she's receiving a certificate for completion of grade 1. She's also receiving a Great Leader Award, because I think Sophie is a student who can definitely, she doesn't hesitate, she can take control, and she knows where she's going, she can definitely lead others, so she's getting a Great Leader Award today. She is also receiving a recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate, a jump rope for heart certificate, a kids Zumba certificate, as well as the music award for grade 1. So Sophie Green. Next on the list is Shayna Normore. Shayna just came to our class this year, and what a wonderful addition she has been. Today she's receiving her certificate for completion of grade 1. She is also receiving a Language Arts Award. She has done amazing in her reading and her writing. She was probably pretty much on par at the beginning of the year, but by Christmas time she had taken off and she just kept going with her reading and her writing. She she must have got books from Santa, I'd say, because she was doing fabulous. So she's getting a Language Arts Award today. She's also receiving a recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate, a jump rope for heart certificate, and a kids Zumba certificate. Next is Lexi Roach. She is receiving, today she's receiving her certificate for completion of grade 1. She's also receiving a mathematics award. Lexi does really well in math, especially during calendar time when I ask questions about the date in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 10 days ago, these kinds of things. Lexi is just, she's got the answer right away, so she's getting math awards today. She's also receiving a recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate, a jump rope for heart certificate, a kids Zumba certificate, and she gets the physical education award for grade 1. So Lexi Roach. Next is Emma Sims. Emma today is receiving her certificate for completion of grade 1, and Emma is also receiving a printing award. She is very neat in her printing. She uses proper capital and lowercase letters when she's copying print. She also stays on the lines. It's very neat. So she's receiving a printing award, and as well as the other certificates from the physical education program, as her other classmates do. So Emma Sims. And last but not least, Kaysen Son. So Kaysen today is receiving a certificate for completion of grade 1. He is also receiving an Independent Worker Award. At the beginning of the year, I'm not sure if he actually needed my help, but he definitely wanted my help. And since then, he's just taken off, and I believe it was only a couple days ago that he was doing his news, and he did it completely on his own. So that was, and he wanted to do it completely on his own, which is pretty great. So he's getting an Independent Worker Award. Today he's also receiving his recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate, and a kids Zumba certificate. Yep, so it's been definitely a wonderful year in grade 1. These students are pretty well behaved, and they're just so sweet and adorable. I'm sad to see them go, even though I taught this one right here for a couple years. We're kind of tired of each other, but we're getting through it. I think I want to keep her down though. So, how do you feel? But yeah, we'll get through it. But yeah, I want to say thank you to the grade 1s. We've had a wonderful year, and I hope you have a lovely summer to both my classes.
So again, congratulations to the kindergarten class and grade 1 class. Just noticing that there was one boy in each class. Imagine 2 boys with all those girls. I don't know. Let's see. Next, we'll have grade 2 class. I better stay quiet while I'm in. Grade 2. All 3 of them.
If you can't hear me, then we really have a problem.
Do you guys want to put them under your chairs so you don't
Mr. Penny mentioned that Kaysen was the only boy. Well, next year when I get grade 1s in grade 2 and I have these 3 lovelies, I have 1 boy and all girls. Mrs. Green mentioned about the readers. Well, these 3 are going to have me bankrupt. Because after they read so many thousand books, they get a gigantic prize. And I was starting to sweat bullets because Chloe Carter was on her way to her 2nd big prize, and I was counting down the days and seeing if I was going to save myself or not. But she didn't quite get to the 2nd big prize. I was sweating over it. Next year, exactly. These 3 girls get me again next year, so I'm looking forward to that. And in amongst their other certificates, they were very involved in lots of different things, from lunchtime sports, Canada Games Challenge, and a Participation Nation. In addition to that, I'm going to start now with Chloe. Chloe receives our Reading Award. I can't even remember how many books she's read. It's in the thousands. And every time I looked at her, I never saw her face because I'd have to say her name for get her look at me because there are no simple phenomenon. Which is probably why her and the other two are all reading above where they need to be reading, which is great. So Chloe received my Reading Award. She also is one of only 2 students, K-12, who received perfect attendance. She also has a recycling certificate and mentoring, choir, jump rope for her, as well as kids soon. So congratulations, Chloe. And just to let the parents know, all the certificates are in their report card bags. So keeps them from getting all crinkled up by the end of the ceremony. Next we have Summer. Summer's shown me some pretty cool dance moves this year. She certainly got the beat, which explains why she received the music award this year. She's also been in as a recycling certificate, mentoring, choir, jump rope for her, as well as Zumba. And last but not least of my 3 little ones here who are soon going to catch up to me is Paige. Paige received the Math Award as well as the Phys Ed Award. She also received a certificate in recycling. She's involved in our mentoring program, jump rope for her, and Zumba. I tried to count out how many books the 3 of these girls have read, and it's, I'd say, close to about 6,000 or 7,000 books. So I'm getting to a point now where I'm running out of books with them, and parents have started donating books because I was, spending just a little bit of money on them, and I won't even go to that much. So I'm hoping that the books that they received today from me, they haven't read, because it's hit and miss with the 3 of them. But I'm really looking forward to having them join the girls and Kason next year. Great job. And my grade 3s are next. I can't believe I'm saying grade 3. I remember when Mrs. Green got these guys in kindergarten. Actually, I remember when Hunter used to come in with Sissy before school. And now he's going off to grade 4, which is pretty remarkable. And I have to send them off because I don't know if you guys noticed. We have a little problem. Nathan passed me in height, I don't know, I think last year. But now Samuel has sprouted up and following close behind is Carter. And I said, okay, it's enough of this. Mr. Penny, you're going to have to send him over to Mrs. Vetcher because, it's kind of strange when you got to look up at your primary students. They're a lovely bunch, and Mrs. Vetcher, you're going to thoroughly enjoy them next year. And I'm going to start with, okay. I'm going to start with Morgan. And Morgan had the opposite of Kason. Morgan was the only girl in this group, but she inherited 3 from grade 2, so it didn't make it quite so lonely, did it there? So Morgan has our music award. She also has a recycling certificate. She participated in choir, mentoring, and jump rope for her. So Morgan. I'm so glad, William, you haven't passed me yet, because I'm starting to worry, William has become extremely independent this year, which was quite refreshing. Mrs. Green, you'd be quite impressed. I remember when he first started talking in Mrs. Green's class, and he frightened her half to death. Well,
I think I frightened him.
What's that?
I think I frightened him.
Yeah. William has my Independent Worker Award. He's also participated in our recycling program, our mentoring program, and jump rope for her. So William tonight. Okay, Hunter. Well, Hunter has kept me on my toes. He's the only student I have that's got the same energy level that I have. Which is pretty hyper, isn't it, Hunter? We have had a lot of fun together this year. Hunter is a phenomenal reader. And if you want to know a fact about anything, you ask this fellow. I stopped testing him in reading because it's starting to scare me a little bit. But Hunter definitely receives our reading award this year. He's also participated in the recycling program, mentoring program, as well as choir. Hunter? Nathan Ron Spencer, my oh my. He keeps me on track, I'm going to tell you. My word to Nathan all the time is, Nathan, where's mine? Nathan, do you remember? Nathan, can you find? So Nathan is definitely my helper. He's been my helper all year. I'm going to be sad to lose him, other than the fact that I got to look up to him. Nathan receives my helper award. He also has a certificate for a recycling program, mentoring program, choir, and jump rope for her. Now, Samuel is my next person, and I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty proud of Samuel. The amount of reading that he's done, and I'm hoping that Emily has benefited from it, but he's been reading nonstop to his baby sister, which I hope he helps get her to be a reader, and as a result, his reading has gone right through the roof, and Samuel receives my Most Improved Award. He's also participated in choir as well as jump rope for her. And last but not least, Carter Warren. Carter has received my math award. He's also received the phys ed award. He's also received a recycling certificate, a mentoring certificate. He's involved in choir as well as jump rope for her. And he's got all kinds of stories about his dog Willow that I'll have to listen next year. Willow and Jake. If you don't know who Willow and Jake are, guys, you need to ask these things. Come on over. These guys, just like the grade 2s, have been very busy. They also all participated in lunchtime sports. They all participated in the Canada Games Challenge. And they all participated in the Participation Nation. So they've been very, very active, and I hope that continues when they go into elementary school. And I think they all have lots to be proud of. I'm going to really miss them next year, but I think my loss is going to be Mrs. Thatcher's game. Grade 3s of Burgeo Academy.
Congratulations to grade 2s and grade 3s. Next, we'll go with grade 4s, please.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see so many parents and grandparents here this morning to celebrate all our accomplishments this year, because there have been many. These guys I get to keep. They're going to grade 5, but they're staying with me, and I get the 4s, or Miss Harris 3s. So I think it's going to be a good year. We'll get some new friends and get to know some classmates that are a little younger than us, and these guys get to be the top dogs in the class. So we'll see how that goes next year. Our first student is actually at Peter Strides, Jaden Courtney, but we'll still talk about Jaden Courtney's accomplishments this year. Jaden is receiving a a certificate for choir, mentoring, the recycling program. My kids have been involved in a friendship program with Mrs. Penny this year where they've been doing different sessions on building on new relationships and their friendships. So Jaden receives a certificate from Mrs. Penny for the friendship program. He was a part of Zumba Kids, Participation Nation, Dinner Time Sports. He receives his diploma for grade 4. And Jaden receives an award from me. I'm going to call it my Outdoorsman Award, because he has told me and shared with me and taught me so much about hunting, fishing, camping. We all know Jaden. We know that that is very, very true of him. So he receives my Outdoorsman Award. The Jadens, we got another Jaden, Jaden Strickland. Jaden Strickland receives a certificate for mentoring, recycling, friendship program, jump rope for heart, participation nation, dinner time sports. He receives a grade 4 diploma, and he receives a special award from me for making me laugh louder than I've ever laughed in my life. And those of you that know me know I have a quite loud laugh that's a little bit obnoxious. And this boy, the remarks and comments that he makes, his mom told me at the beginning of the year, his classmates call him Mr. Giggles, and he's definitely made me laugh this year. So Jaden receives that award from me. Amia Signs. Amia receives a certificate for the choir, mentoring, recycling program, friendship program, Kids Zumba, Participation Nation, Dinner Time Sports. She receives the French Award from me as well, her grade 4 diploma, and Amia receives a special award from me that I call Little Miss Sunshine, because she is always smiling. She has come in every morning ready to get at it. She is a positive student, so she receives my Little Miss Sunshine Award. Sarah Ball. Sarah Ball receives the Music Award from Miss Rogers, a mentoring certificate, recycling blitz certificate, friendship award. She also receives a reading certificate from me, as this girl is going on to grade 5 and she's reading well into grade 7. So she is the top reader actually in our entire room. So that's definitely something to be proud of, Sarah. She receives a math award from me as well. She was a part of Zumba Kids, Participation Nation, Dinner Time Sports, a grade 4 diploma, and she receives a manners award from me. I'm not sure if I've ever met someone who uses their manners so frequently. It might be Chloe Mercer. Chloe Mercer is very, very mannerly as well, but Sarah Ball is always very polite, please, thank you, kind, soft-spoken. She is a friend to all in our room. Everyone loves Sarah Ball. Everyone loves working with her. She's just a great, great girl. So congratulations, Sarah. Julie Ricketts. Julie receives a certificate for being part of the choir, mentoring, recycling program, friendship award from Mrs. Penny. She also receives the phys ed award from Miss Batcher. She was a part of Zumba Kids, Participation Nation, Dinner Time Sports. She receives a grade 4 diploma, and Julie receives a special award from me for being so talented. This girl can sing, this girl can dance. She's shown us that all this year at the Christmas concert, spring concert, any gym classes where they were doing Zumba. She is just phenomenal. She is really, really talented, so she receives an award for that. Lance Porter. Lance receives certificates for mentoring, the friendship program, the recycling program, Participation Nation, Dinner Time Sports, a grade 4 diploma, and he also receives an award for being so great in science. He is our little scientist. Anything that I didn't know how to do in science, this boy knows how to do. Any little fact or tidbit that he can tell you about anything, this boy knows it. So Lance receives that as well, and he also receives, I don't know if you have followed Pansy on Facebook. She posts pictures of the kids on the first day of school. Lance is always so cheery. Kind of like right September that this boy can sometimes come to school a little grumpy, but he is getting an award. I'm acknowledging him for being so positive and happy each morning. Believe it or not, this boy always came to school ready to give her. And he is actually receiving an award for being so happy. You can frame that one, Pansy. Tamara Young. Tamara receives an award for being a part of the choir, mentoring, recycling program, friendship program, jump rope for her, Zumba Kids, Participation Nation, dinner time sports, and she receives a grade 4 diploma. Tamara is also receiving a special award from me for her singing. Her and I, and all the 4s and 5s can vouch for this, we are duet partners quite often. We've sang a lot of her dance songs. We've sang, our most recent was Mama's Got a Squeeze Box. We jam into that one. And yeah, she's talented as well. So she is my singing partner, that Tamara. And if you ever want to hear Clayton, and I know it, she knows that word for word too. Last but not least, Mackenzie Crant. Mackenzie receives a certificate for being a member of the choir, for mentoring, for the friendship program, jump rope for her, Zumba Kids, Participation Nation, dinner time sports. She receives a grade 4 diploma, and she receives a special award from me because if you've ever wondered what my brain looks like walking around outside my body, it's Mackenzie. Because she knows where, like Ms. Harris said about, I think, Nathan, she knows where everything is. She knows what I've said I was going to do. She knows what I says I'm going to do next. She finishes my sentences for me. If anything is lost and I cannot find it, Mackenzie, where is it? What did I do with it? Where did I put it down? Where did I cover it up with? She knows. So she gets an award for being my brain. I would be lost without this girl. So these are our grade 4s of the 2016-2017 school year, and I look forward to seeing them in September. Mr. Penny just reminded me, I forgot all about it. So everyone knows once the kids get to elementary, we have a couple special awards, a couple of special plaques that these guys get to take home. I have one for top academic performance, and then other academic performances, a most improved student, and student of the year. So the first one I'll start out with is an academic performance. This student performed very well this year, academically and socially in the classroom, and they deserve to be commended for all their efforts this year, and my hope is that will continue right up through school. So my first academic award is awarded to Julie Ricketts. Congratulations. My second academic award, I could say the same thing. This student is a very hard worker, strives to do their best, wants to do well and be successful, very easy to get along with. My second academic award goes to Amia Symes. And this is the top overall. That one will go off. And our top performer overall scored the highest, had the highest average, and they deserve to be commended for that, and they should be very proud. And our top performer in grade 4 this year is Sarah Ball. I have one last award for the academic performances. This is an award I discussed with a number of teachers, and they felt the same thing as I did. This student deserves so much acknowledgement for all their hard work in the classroom and at home, because this child consistently puts their best foot forward, consistently studies hard, consistently works well with me. With Miss Spencer, who was with us for a part of the winter. They always have a positive attitude. It's a joy actually sitting one-on-one with this student, and they have accomplished so many goals this year. I'm so proud of this student, and they deserve to be acknowledged for being such a hard worker. I'm not sure I've met a student like this one, who is happy while doing work, happy while being taught, happy while doing a test. They are just a positive influence in our class, and such a great role model to all the kids. He works so hard in school and at home. And I want to give my last plaque for academics to Jaden Strickland. Congratulations, Jaden, you have earned that. My second last award is for the most improved student. I've also discussed this with a number of other teachers who teach us. This student started out in September. Like, I just got these kids in September. I only really knew them from mentoring and seeing them in the hallway and whatnot. This student I really got to know. I had to pry a little bit in the beginning, but then with Miss Spencer, we got this child to completely open up. They became more talkative, but in a good way, not being disruptive, but always offering responses and answers, telling stories to the class, getting up to speak in front of us. Just an overall change. And it has been so great to see this kid change into the person that he is right now. And I hope that, once again, this will continue as he grows up. My most improved student for grade 4 is Lance Porter. And the last award is for the Student of the Year in grade 4. This award doesn't necessarily go to someone who has the top academics or even has to be that strong academically. This is an award that I look at as the class overall. Someone who is friendly and a friend to all, uses their manners, involved in extracurricular, helpful with other kids who might be struggling. There's many things that I consider. They need to be a well-rounded student who is loved and respected by all of us. And I think I've made a good decision. I've talked to other teachers about it. Our Student of the Year for grade 4 is Amia Sines. Okay, so I want to wish you guys a safe and happy summer. I will see you in September in grade 5. Don't forget to come back upstairs and get your report cards and your little goodie bags. Okay? Congratulations. Grade 5s want to come up? These are our large group of grade 5s that I have to pass on to Mr. Shears, unfortunately. Mr. is great for Mr. Shears. But like Mr. Penny said, this year just flew, and every year after is going faster and faster. And I couldn't wait to get these guys, and I know them really well now, and I was hoping I could keep them again, but that's how it goes, and I'll still have them for friends. So we want to acknowledge some of their accomplishments as well. Andrew Ricketts receives a certificate for mentoring, dinner time sports. He was a participant in Shade for the Brave this year. He receives a recycling certificate, friendship. He receives the Phys Ed Award from Miss Alicia Batcher. Kids Zumba participant, Participation Nation, grade 5 diploma. And Andrew receives a special award from me because this boy has a life goal. And I am confident with his brains and work ethic, he can accomplish this. This boy would like to cure cancer. And I think that is phenomenal for someone his age, and I say with confidence that he can do this. So, I have a certificate for him. He was a natural born leader, this boy was. And if he doesn't cure cancer, he will do something great one day, whether he's the Prime Minister or even Mayor of Burgeo, I don't know. He is going to do great things. So congratulations, Andrew. Sierra Warren. Sierra receives a certificate for choir, dinnertime sports, recycling program, friendship award, mentoring. She receives the math and the French award from me. She was a member of Zumba Kids, Participation Nation, and she receives a grade 5 diploma. And her special award from me, and I say this with love, is she receives an award for being our class drama queen. But I say that with love because Sierra can be quite a stress ball. She's a lot like me. She can be quite a stress ball, and she stresses over tests and work. But we found something at Christmas that she really excels at and is really great at. When we did auditions for our parks for our Christmas concert, and this girl can act. This girl is very dramatic, not only in her stress, but in any little skits or speeches we've made this year. This girl can be so dramatic. So I wrote on her certificate that Ms. Hare will be very lucky to have you in drama when you get in grade 7. So congratulations, Sierra. Gregory Compton. Gregory receives a certificate for mentoring. He was a participant in Shade for the Brave as well. He receives a recycling program certificate, friendship. He also receives the science for grade 5, as this boy is a lot like Lance. He knows a lot of random information, and if there was anything that I couldn't figure out in science, this boy was my go-to, so that was great. He receives a certificate for Participation Nation, a grade 5 diploma, and his special award is, I don't know if you know this about Gregory, but he's very laid back. He's a chill worker, he's a chill guy. He works hard. Academically, he performs really well, but there was times that he would be such a quiet worker, and the rest of the students would be writing out their math or division problem or whatever, and I would speak to Gregory, I might ask him a division problem. I said, Gregory, you got anything done yet? And he would look at me, just straight face, 27 remainder 3. He would have the answer completely done, and he was just so relaxed and laid back. So he receives an award for that. And last but not least, Kennedy Lushman. Kennedy receives an award for, or a certificate for being in the choir. She receives a music award from Miss Rogers, a mentoring certificate, recycling program, friendship award. She receives a certificate for her reading, as this girl is performing at top level in our grade 5 class. Participation Nation, dinnertime sports, grade 5 diploma. And while it's obvious for me to commend Kennedy on her artwork, because I don't know if any of you know Kennedy very well, but she is amazing at being creative and putting her creative uses to work. She's just phenomenal. But I've decided to give Kennedy an award that I called the Madeira Award. Because, and once again, I say this with love, this child is not sassy. This child don't say Madeira, like, negatively. Anything I have said to Kennedy, she responds with, Madeira? If I say, my God, I never read that book before, Madeira? Or if I say, my God, what do I do with my pencil? I put my pencil down somewhere, Madeira? And back in September, we did bucket lists and things that we wanted to do either before we graduated high school or even finished the year. This girl, on my bucket list, I gave an example. I said, I have never caught a fish before. Never ever in my life. Well, she couldn't believe that. Her response was, Madeira, you want to catch fish, come around Javier. So she receives my Madeira Award. So once again, like the grade 4s, these guys have some special plaques to be awarded as well. I will tell you, Mr. Shears, these 4 students are very academically strong. I'm so proud of them. They've accomplished so much this year in grade 5. They are ready for grade 6, and they deserve to be acknowledged for that as well. So, oh, you got one. My first student for an academic performance is being acknowledged for their big brain, because this child has a huge brain, has so much knowledge, has so much natural ability. Sometimes I would wish this child would work a little harder, and I know it's coming, especially since he wants to cure cancer. My first academic performance goes to Andrew Ricketts. Once again, an academic performance plaque is going to a student who has tons of natural ability, who works hard, who works quietly, who is a very independent worker. He can be chatty, but he works his butt out, and he does very, very well. He's a quiet worker, but he can be a little chatty, and it goes to Gregory Captain. Mom don't believe that he could be chatty. My next academic award goes to a student who has worked very hard this year, who always strives to succeed and do her best. If there was ever, this is on your report card, if there was ever anything she did not understand, she wanted to sit with me and practice and practice and practice until she fully understood. And that is so admirable. She just didn't sweep it under the rug and say, well, I don't understand it, it's too hard. She worked really, really hard. Another academic performance plaque goes to Kennedy Lushman. And our top academic performance, I don't think it's any secret now with the secret out. This student, even with all her stress levels, she performs so well. She has excellent test-taking skills and studying ability. She wants to do well. She strives to get good marks. She takes great pride in it, and so she should. And I hope that your study habits and your work ethic continue with Mr. Shears and right on up through, because you will be so successful. Sierra Ward. And like for grade 4, I have a Student of the Year award plaque. And like I said, this is for a student who is well-rounded. We know these guys got their academics in check. I look for someone who is mannerly, involved in school, a friend to all, who really truly cares, has a really, really nice heart. And this year, I know this person is very deserving. My Student of the Year for grade 5 is Kennedy Lushman. This is our grade 5 class. Like I said, I have to pass them on. I wish I could keep them longer because the year just flew by. I know them so well now. I tell them all the time we're a family in our room. And that is so true. We became very, very close this year, us with Miss Spencer. And in saying that, before I let my 5s go to Mr. Shears, and I want to say to the parents, grandparents here, this has been a fantastic year. I've loved getting to know these kids, and we've had a lot of fun memories. I got a lot of stories for their graduation, so they're counting down the days already. I want to thank you guys as parents and grandparents, guardians of any kind. Our school and community obviously went through a huge tragedy this year, an unthinkable loss. And without these kids in my 4 or 5 class, and right from K to 12, I'm not sure we would have stayed afloat. But these kids, the kids that you guys have praised to be caring and compassionate and sensitive, have totally, like I said, kept our heads above water, kept us focused, kept us moving. They have definitely helped us deal and cope and help them cope as well. So I want to thank you guys as parents for raising such great, great kids. I think we're very lucky to teach in this school, in such a small school, with small numbers. But having kids like this definitely makes getting up in the morning and coming to work so, so great. Like, So I just want to thank you guys as parents, guardians, any kind. So thank you for raising such great kids. Grade 5, same goes for you guys. Have a phenomenal summer. I look forward to seeing you in September again, safe and happy. Congratulations.
And congratulations to the grade 4 and 5 class. Next we have our grade 6s.
Good morning, everyone. I need a microphone. I'm not quite as loud as some of my fellow teachers, not criticizing, but I had something written up, which I'll get to in a second. As I'm sitting in the audience listening, a few things occurred to me. One, the obvious one, or the first one I should say, is when Mrs. Thatcher was talking about singing with Tamara. In September, I did try to do a duet with the students. After a minute or so of complete silence, one of them spoke up and said, "Mr. Shears, never do that again. Promise you'll never do that again." So that was the end of my singing career. A second thing, a really good bunch of kids. I'm glad to have been with them this year. I'm excited and happy to have them again next year. They're good as a group, they're good together, but they're not angels. I told them, starting in September, every embarrassing little thing, every funny little thing, every little thing that made me laugh, made me cry, I said, everything's going to be written down. So I have a binder. We should be finished by 11 or so. I'm kidding, of course. 11:30. Okay, so I know everyone is eager to get their diplomas and head out into the bright sunshine. Sorry. I've written the same line 4 years in a row. 4 years we've had to talk. I think I'm jinxing it. Okay, so before we get to the awards and all the other goodies, I'd like to take a minute to talk about the year that we've had. We've had a good year, as I've said before. We've had lots of laughs. We did a lot of serious work as well. We learned a few things. Hopefully you haven't forgotten it all yet. I hear that the homeroom teacher next year will be giving you a pop quiz in September, as soon as school starts. There are certainly some interesting and wonderful personalities in this group. I won't talk about all the lessons and the tests and instruction because that's boring. I will mention the time, without embarrassing anybody, that Troy tried to convince everyone in class that you could build a hole. Not dig, build. You should have heard him. He almost had me convinced. I was that close to going out in the parking lot and trying to build a hole. But the bell rang and saved me. Another time, Chloe was giggling, as she frequently does. Loves to smile, loves to laugh, very infectious. She was getting ready to take a drink from a water bottle. I said, maybe you should stop giggling first. Naturally, she took a taste. I did my best not to make her laugh. It didn't work. So, water everywhere. She was like a little sprinkler. So So after she finished, and she saw all the water on the floor, she apologized and said, I'll clean it up, I'm sorry. So I handed her a straw. When Mr. Penny told me that I was going to have this group again next year, it was terrible. Oh, sorry. It was terrific news. Sorry, spell check. Missed that one. It would be great to be with them again next year. I'm excited as well to have the grade 5s next year. I know they're a good bunch of kids too. So I hopefully they feel the same way, and we can start high school together next year. And on a serious note, I would say for every time I had to frown at this group of kids, I smiled 1,000 times. And I guess for every time I had to raise my voice, I laughed 100 times. We had a lot of fun this year, and hopefully again next year as well. Okay, so we'll get on with the show and get to the awards. All the students will receive a diploma. In addition to the following awards, I ask that they come up after I finish reading the them. Troy Anderson received certificates for the Burgeo Recycling Program, for mentoring, dinner time sports, and participation nation. He's also the winner of the Physical Education Award. Logan, he receives certificates for the recycling program, dinner time sports, and participation nation. Before we came down, I explained to them in the classroom, I'm going to read out the awards. When I'm finished, I'll look at you and you come up and get your award, and we're 0 for 2 so far. Dakota Herod. He receives certificates for the recycling program, the mentoring, and participation in Participation Nation. Okay, this is normally where we would call up Devin Herod. We know he's living elsewhere now. We hope he's doing well, and we miss him here today. Next is Nicholas Lushman. Receives certificates for the mentoring program, dinner time sports, participation nation. He also received a certificate for the Shade for Brave, which I loved. Oh, I finally had somebody in class. I had more hair than somebody else. It was wonderful. We were like twins. If I could put some tape across his lip, we'd be twins. Thank you. Good job. Chloe. She receives certificates for the recycling program, for mentoring, for dinner time sports, and participation nation. She receives certificates as well for Zumba Kids and the Burgeo Academy Choir. She's the winner of the Science Award. She's the winner of the French Award. She's the winner of the Music Award. Okay. Congratulations. Brandon Ricketts receives as well certificates for recycling, mentoring, dinner time sports, participation nation, also Shade for Brave. So that's 2 I have more here then. Winner of the Math Award and winner of the Social Studies Award. Good job. Mary receives certificates for recycling, mentoring, dinner time sports, participation nation, Zumba Kids, the Burgeo Academy Choir, and for Jump Rope for Heart program. And finally, Donovan received certificates for recycling, mentoring, dinner time sports, participation nation, Zumba Kids, and the Jump Rope for Heart program as well. Good job. Okay, lastly, we presented the awards for most improved student, the top academic, as well as academic awards, and student of the year. I'm going to change the order a little bit. I'm going to do the most improved student award. It recognizes the student who has made overall progress from the beginning of the school year. This was a difficult choice for me, as all the students improved to some degree, and all the students were roughly at the same level. So this has never really happened to me before, where somebody doesn't stand out. So it was a bit of a dilemma for me. So as I always tell my students, I went back and looked at their reports, their assessments, their tests, things I had written for them throughout the year to try to come to a decision. In other words, I studied really hard. And I determined that this year the winner is Nicholas Lushman. Okay, the next awards recognizes the top 3 academic performances. This is an impressive accomplishment because it indicates the individual performed at a very high level throughout 10 months of tests, quizzes, assignments, projects, countless other assignments and assessments. We'll start with the student who has the 3rd highest academic performance, and the winner is Dakota Eric. The 2nd highest academic performance is Chloe Mercer. And the top academic performance, and again, this is for 10 months of countless assessments, studying really hard, putting the extra work in. It's quite an accomplishment, and the top academic performance belongs to Brandon Ricketts. And finally, the last award, the Student of the Year, is for individuals who are well-rounded in terms of academics, extracurricular activities, class and school involvement, and participation. And this year, the winner is Chloe Mercer. Congratulations to all the winners. Finally, it is my pleasure to present you with the grade 7 class of the 2017-2018 school year.
Guys, we're almost done. I didn't know some of our elementary teachers had a lot of lip. Sorry, sir. Each year we, obviously recycling is a big fundraiser at our school, so each year we present a little prize to the student who has running most recycling in K to 6, as well as 7 to 12. So for K to 6, this student brought in, I think it's written here, 2,105 items. And that's Jamie Rose. So I'm going to ask Jamie to come forward, a little gift for Jamie. Come on up. We'll take on this. That one. This one, that one, this. There, this. No, that's it. Just a couple things I want to say, and all the teachers spoke about how well behaved our students are, and certainly that's a lot to do with our parents and grandparents. A week and a half ago, I guess it was, that they took a trip to Stephenville. We certainly wish that we could do that more often. It's been a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, since we've been able to allow that trip. And I want to thank the students again, because we've had nothing but positive comments on how well behaved they were from the time they left. And they left at 7:30. I'm not too sure what time they came back, but 5 o'clock, 5. So I mean, that's a long day, and the bus driver was amazing, well behaved they were. All the teachers told me. even in the swimming pool, and even the ladies who came out, I think, when they did the pottery with the mulch and that, I mean, the students were well behaved. So I want to thank the students for that. I guess you have something. Okay.
I won't talk, I promise. You got the microphone. Before we leave, there's a lot of volunteers in our school, and we really appreciate our volunteers, but there's one particular volunteer who, without this person, I don't know what we would do, because they do more photocopying than most of our teachers, and they do more putting up and taking down, and participating even as a chaperone on our latest trip that Mr. Kenny spoke about. And I'd like to have Amanda Fever come forward. It's the last day of school, can't you tell? Amanda Fever come forward and receive a gift on behalf of us. So, appreciate it.
And thank you, Amanda. On that note, that's the end of our school year. Our students get to go back to the classroom to get their report cards, so we're going to dismiss them a class at a time. Once they've left, I ask that the parents or grandparents can help just stack up the chairs. We greatly appreciate it. Guys, I wish you all the best in the summer. Play safe, and we want obviously to see everyone back in September. And remember, school starts September the 6th. Not that you want to hear that right now. Anyway, congratulations to everyone.